had the opportunity to go on my very first scrapbooking retreat. I've been to crops and things in the past, but never an actual retreat. And so I joined all these lovely ladies. They were all pretty much strangers to me at the beginning of this weekend. And we gathered in Calgary, Canada to share our love of scrapbooking, and we had a wonderful time. Join me as I show you all of our adventures. I'm a member of the scraphappy.org community, and you can check out what they're all about online at their website, and that's just scraphappy.org. And once a year, they have a gathering for an in-person retreat, and I got to go this year, and it happened to be in Canada. And I just wanted to show you all the good stuff and fun times we had. So when we arrived, our host Alice Bowl had these goodies for us. So we had a Canada bag and a hat and a cute little stuffy, the Scrap Happy logos on it. And then she had a collection of papers. And everybody, there were 2 different sets, so we got to pick where we wanted to sit kind of based on the collection that was in front of us. And throughout the weekend, it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday retreat. The next day, we got yet another collection of paper. So we got these ones were all Canada themed. And then on Sunday, she had an instructor come in with a special goodie for us. So we were able to pick out our own 6-sheet paper pack. And on another day, we had the ladies who run this magazine come in, and they gave us each a copy of the magazine, and we were able to meet them and take a photo with them. And our retreat photo will be in the next issue of the magazine, which I believe will be in the fall. So these were the goodies that just came along with coming for the retreat. But wait, we had a surprise. One of the classes from the color theory class, actually these were the supplies that were supposed to go with that class, and they hadn't come in time, and I didn't know it, but our little conference fairies came around and delivered the actual class goodies to our doors, our hotel room doors at the end of the retreat. So we got these bonus goodies. Another fun element to the retreat was that the local ladies, or rather I should just say the Canadian ladies, brought Canadian themed items to share with all of us. So there were some stickers, there were some dies, there were punches, and so they just brought things that made the whole trip to Canada feel that much more special. The reason I went to this retreat was to connect with other scrappers, and one of the ways we did that was to exchange a little goodie that kind of had something to do with who we were. And so these were all the little goodies that didn't quite fit. I put almost everything here in my traveler's notebook about this trip. So the beginning of the notebook just has information about the trip and where we were. And then the meat of the notebook is all of this back here, which is 1 page set up for each of the ladies who came to the retreat. And I made a table of contents with all of our names. And there was one lady who couldn't make it, but other than that, there were 19 of us. And I put myself in the beginning just to set up the whole book. And so the front of a page has the who and the where they're from, and some notes about what I started to get to know about that person. And then there's a picture, and you'll see this is not a typical layout for all the other pages, but this was just to get the book started. And then on the back side of the page was any little goodies that they gave me that kind of represented who they are or where they were from. And so this one is a little bit more typical with the name, the location, and some notes about who they are, and then a selfie. We all took selfies together at this event, and that was fun and fabulous. And then on the back side, she passed out stickers, and then I'm going to add one of these flare badges in here because she also passed those out to everybody. And this is the logo for our group. So I've got several more pages of that for each person on this trip. And like I said, this was the stuff that didn't fit in the book, so I will put that to good use somewhere else. And of course, there were shopping opportunities on the trip. So we actually had a field trip to a scrapbook store. And while we were there, I picked up just a few things that looked beautiful and got these. Then the next day, the same scrapbook store has a mobile scrapbook truck that is full of shopping opportunities. So the second day, the truck came and showed up for us. Or rather, I guess we went to the scrapbook store the day before the retreat started officially, and then the first official day of the retreat, the truck came to visit us. So I bought a few more things. I bought a few Canada-themed things based on what we would be doing, and a gorgeous paper pack that I busted into during the crop. And then on the final day of the retreat, we had one more shopping opportunity by the teacher that came in to join us. And I picked up several paper pads. I picked up some flair, plenty of sequins, enamel dots. I think that was from, I missed those. That was from the first day. And a cute stamp set that had some outdoorsy theme. Every day of the retreat, there was some kind of class that was offered. And so this was day one, where we kind of went step by step through this layout. And kind of the technique that they were featuring on this layout was really these embossing powders that we used on the Eiffel Tower and on some of our fonts. And we had not just a layout, but supplies to build 2 cards. And there's plenty of leftovers for a couple more things. Day 2, we had one of our own members offer us a class on color theory, and she handed out a kit of some lovely colorful supplies from Vicky Bouton. And our challenge for this one wasn't to follow directions, but to take a concept of color theory and to build a layout off of that. And we got a little bit of a prize for doing that. I'll get to the prizes in a minute. Later that day, we had a make and take that was offered by Alice, and we were using this fun Art Impressions stamp set. And if you notice, this is an interactive card. So we made this cute little lady who is having herself a good time. And on day 3, since travelers' notebooks were kind of the theme of goodies that we were doing with each other, we had an instructor come in and do these 2 traveler notebook pages with us, and we specifically had some embellishments to go with the trip that we were going to take. After the retreat was over, we were staying an extra day just to take a trip out to Banff National Park, and we passed this mountain range called the Three Sisters on our way out there. So that wrapped up the 3 classes, one for each day of our retreat. And of course, what is a scrapbooking retreat without plenty of time for cropping? So while I was there, I created lots of these lovely pages, and you'll have to stay tuned because some of these pages will be featured in future videos. Now, I mentioned prizes, and there were a few fun little prizes when I told you about the Color Theory Challenge layout. Whoever finished the challenge got to pick a prize, and I picked this cute little whale stamp because I had some ocean-themed pages to work on. And then we had a fun challenge. Check out this photo. And that challenge was to see who could complete a puzzle of the Canadian map the fastest. And since we were mostly US ladies, it was quite a challenge since we obviously didn't know the geography as well. And so I won that challenge, yay! And my prize for that challenge was to pick out one Canadian themed goodie, and I picked out these playing cards since we play that a lot. And then one other item, so they had some kind of bits and pieces left over from previous classes, and I picked out the embossing powder from the Eiffel Tower embossing on the layout that I showed you. But the fun prize was a surprise. When we all looked under our chair, some chairs had a Scrap Happy sticker under them, and my chair was one of them. And we got to choose a bag with a hidden surprise in it. And my hidden surprise was this fun little die cut machine. So this is a pretty small little guy, and it's good to travel with. It came with the cutting plates, it came with 2 embossing folders, a stack of paper, and a die set. And this is a prize from American Crafts and the We Are Memory Keeper brand. So thank you to American Crafts and We Are Memory Keeper for this fun prize for our group. And I'm happy that I won. Finally, as a bonus activity that people could choose or not to if they couldn't do it, we stayed an extra day in Calgary and went up to Banff National Park and rode the Banff gondola up to one of the mountain peaks and took lots of beautiful pictures. Check them out. I had a wonderful time on this trip, and I hope that you can find a crafty retreat that you can find community and connection with and enjoy yourself. And if you haven't found one yet, check out scraphappy.org. They have been a wonderful group of friendly ladies, and I was very welcomed and embraced when I came to this retreat. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and get notifications for my future videos.